Let's turn to India now, where we are just days away from the general election. The first phase of voting is this week on Friday. So the race is on to woo voters. The ruling BJP is widely expected to win this election, so all the focus is on their strategy. What will Prime Minister Modi do if he wins another term? Well, the party has released its manifesto. It's called Modi's Guarantee. The document is almost 70 pages long. It focuses on jobs, digital infrastructure and social welfare. We'll come to the big highlights, but first, what are the reactions like? America's Citibank is a bit disappointed. They say the manifesto lacks big bang reforms. And what did they have in mind? Things like reforming land acquisition laws, tweaking labor rules, privatizing key industries, and relaxing limits on foreign investments. Now, these are all very sensitive issues. They often trigger criticism among voters, so it's not surprising that the BJP has not mentioned them in the manifesto. But does it mean that these reforms will not happen? Well, manifestos are not legally binding. They simply offer a broad overview. Parties end up doing things that are not in the manifesto. They also end up not doing things that are in the manifesto. And Citi realizes this. They say the reforms could be announced down the line, which brings us to the big promises. We've shortlisted 10 big promises. Let's cover the social welfare promises first. Number one is free food grains for the poor. This scheme is already in place, but the BJP says we will extend it for another 5 years. It will benefit around 800 million Indians. Number two, expanding the Ayushman Bharat scheme. And what does it offer? Free health care up to 5 lakh rupees for poor families, which is around $6,000, plus free health coverage for senior citizens. And these are Indians aged 60 and above. Number three, free electricity for poor families. Number four, increasing the minimum support price for crops. We've explained the MSP before. It's like a floor price for crops, the price at which governments buy from farmers. Many farmers want to legalize this MSP, but the BJP has not promised that. They're promising to increase it from time to time. And it will be a key issue in agricultural states. Now we come to the structural promises. That is number 5, implementing the Citizenship Amendment Act. Again, we've explained this before on the show. The CAA, Citizenship Amendment Act, fast-tracks citizenship for religious minorities in the region, like Buddhists in Afghanistan or Hindus in Pakistan. But it does not apply to persecuted Muslims. The law has already been notified by the government. The BJP says it will be implemented in the next term. Promise number 6, the Uniform Civil Code. India has personal laws for different religions. They cover issues like divorce and inheritance. So these laws often vary. It's a different set of laws for Muslims, a different set for Hindus, a different set for Sikhs, and so on. The BJP has long promised to end this system. They want a uniform personal law, one that mixes the best traditions with modern times. That's what the BJP says. Promise number 7. One nation, one election. Basically, the national and state elections will be held together. Right now, it's not the case. We are holding the general or national elections right now. State elections have a different cycle. State governments, in fact, have a different election cycle. So the BJP says we'll end that. We will hold all the elections together. Again, it's a long-standing promise of theirs, but expect the opposition to push back, especially regional political parties. Promise number 8, to make India the 3rd largest economy. It's the 5th largest right now. You have Germany, Japan, China, and the US above India, where the BJP is promising to move up the list to overtake both Japan and Germany. And how close is the gap? India's GDP is around $3.7 trillion. Germany is $4 trillion. Japan is 4.2. Experts say India will overtake both these countries by 2030, so the end of this decade. Now we come to the final 2 promises. Number 9 is to make India a Vishwa Bandhu, meaning a relative or kin of the world. This promise covers a lot of initiatives, like leading the Global South, becoming a permanent member of the United Nations Security Council, pushing the neighborhood first policy, establishing an economic corridor via Israel to Europe, and cooperating in the Indo-Pacific. Nothing stands out here. It's a continuation of the Modi government's foreign policy. Which brings us to the final promise, to create a Surakshit Bharat, or a secure India. Again, a lot of initiatives are part of this, like zero tolerance to terrorism, creation of the theatre commands in the military, building better infrastructure along the China, Pakistan and Myanmar borders, and protecting India's interests in the Indian Ocean. So that's the top 10 highlights. A couple of things are missing from this document. For starters, there is no mention of Jammu and Kashmir's statehood. The government has said that statehood will be restored, but the manifesto does not talk about it. Another one is the NRC, the National Register for Citizens. It was often clubbed with the CAA to criticize the government. Critics said it would strip Indian Muslims of their citizenship. So even the NRC is gone, from the manifesto at least. We've also noticed a new trend in the BJP manifesto. It mostly refers to India as Bharat. The word India appears 43 times. The word Bharat appears 199 times, so that's a major symbolic change. But on policy, the BJP has focused on continuity. You won't find radically new programs or ideas in the document. I guess the premium is on doing more of the same.